They're literally holding Israel back. Hamas is playing the White House and playing for time, so public opinion is shifting. Thus, Hamas is on the verge of getting away with the worst slaughter of Jews since the Holocaust. This is new video from the IDF today. Iran will have stared down the United States and Israel. Remember, the Iranians did this when Hezbollah bombed the Beirut Marine barracks, killing 200+ Americans. Iran never paid a price. And somehow the administration wants us to be happy about getting out of World War III, except history tells us that what President Biden said is true.
When terrorists don't pay a price for their terror, when dictators don't pay a price for their aggression, they cause more chaos and death and more destruction. They keep going.
The tough talk is good till you realize we aren't extracting a price from the Iranians, and we are holding the Israelis back. Weakness is provocative. It's provocative to China, to Iran, to North Korea, and to Russia. So let's watch this play out. Hamas very well might get away with it. Iran might well become the regional power in the Middle East, and World War III will only be more likely. Jason Greenblatt is here, former White House envoy to the Middle East under the Trump administration. He knows the Middle East better than just about anybody. Is there any other explanation for what's going on than the one we've laid out?
No, actually, you did an excellent job. I wish cable news would do the kind of job that you did to really lay out the danger, the threat to America, and the danger and the threat to all of our allies. Obviously, Israel after those atrocities, but all of our allies are in danger. And I gave President Biden a lot of credit for how he handled the crisis until now. I give him a lot of credit for the messaging and going to Israel. But now is the time to punch the bully back, as you say. If we don't, not only will Israel have a significant threat on their lap, but all of our allies, and it will come back to America, and it will go into Europe. If we hold Israel back now, all bets are off.
Look, reasonable people can disagree about the Biden administration's pivot away from the Middle East. I think people who knew the Middle East kind of predicted this rise in Iran, and the rapprochement of Iran would probably have this, in retrospect, the same result that Israel's underestimating Hamas did. Is there any explanation, though, for why the United States keeps talking tough? And we've heard that from Blinken, we've heard it from Biden, we've heard it from Secretary Austin. But they keep Iran keeps attacking U.S. assets and U.S. bases inside the Middle East through their proxies, and yet the administration almost seems scared of Iran rather than aggressive towards it.
Part of the issue is politics, right? President Biden has been strong, but he's getting a lot of flack from the very left. He can't run this country and our safety with politics. The second issue is we probably are not as fully prepared as we need to be when it comes to Iran. I think we're ramping up quickly. I think this took everybody by surprise. So it could be that he's asking Israel to give him a little bit of time to make sure we're that we are there, ready to fight for Israel, ready to fight for America, and ready to fight for our other allies and friends. But we better act really fast.
One of the reasons we wanted to have you on, because your experience in the Middle East, and you're known for your relationships with Israel, but part of the Abraham Accords, right, was negotiating with other Arab countries that were very distrustful of Israel and normalizing relations. It was remarkable what happened in the change during the Trump administration in the Middle East. I covered it from 2010 to 2014. The things that happened were unthinkable in a good way. As you look at what are you hearing both from inside Israel and from the rest of the Arab world about how they view the United States vis-a-vis Iran? Is Iran now gaining, for lack of a better term, street cred in the Middle East?
I think what they're very concerned about is the Biden administration's unwillingness to acknowledge completely and unequivocally Iran's hands in this atrocity that Hamas perpetrated. They understand that Hamas and Hezbollah, obviously the Houthis, they're all not just after Israel, they're after every one of those countries. And they need a sign of strength from President Biden. They need to understand that America has everybody's back there against Iran, and they're not seeing it right now.
You dealt with the Egyptians and the Jordanians. What have you heard from behind the scenes about them snubbing President Biden? I think about the Emiratis, the Qataris, where we have bases, and the like, the Kuwaitis. Are they wondering and hedging their bets a little bit, maybe, about U.S. leadership in the Middle East?
I don't have any inside story, right? But I am shocked that they would snub the president of the United States, the president of the most powerful country in the world, who gives so much money to these countries. I think they're great countries, but I think that was a big mistake.
Wow. Hey, we really appreciate you coming on. We've been looking forward to chatting with you for a while. We're going to have you back. Thank you. And as somebody who is a promoter of peace in the world, thanks for all you did for the Middle East and for our country.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.